What's going on, guys? Messi here and welcome to a brand new video and welcome to your daily dose of transfer gossip. And today is going to be Monday the 27th of April and we have got some very good rumours to cover today. So just before we get started, if you could do our good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. My previous episode will be down below in that description box, and the current schedule every day at 8 AM UK time, there will be a new video in your sub box. And today's question of the day, where do you think Jadon Sancho will be playing his football next season? Will he stay at Dortmund, will he move to Manchester United, or maybe even Chelsea? So the first story today is that Schalke are looking to hold on to Barcelona Jean-Claire Todibo for next season. The 20-year-old defender is on loan at the German side and they have got an option to sign him on a permanent deal. The €25 million asking price is currently out of their reach, but Mundo Deportivo do say that Schalke are quietly confident that they can reach some type of deal with Barca to lower that total fee, maybe to around 20 million. It would still be a good profit for Barca because they did sign him technically on a free transfer about a year and a half ago and now could be going to the Bundesliga on a permanent deal. And next up, the Daily Mirror are reporting that Lazio forward Joaquin Correa has emerged on Liverpool's transfer radar. The 25-year-old could be available for as little as €25 million this summer. That's because of the current state of the transfer market. And of course that ties in with the coronavirus outbreak. And I mentioned it a couple of days ago, transfer fees could be very strange for this window. We're not sure how much clubs are making currently, and their overall transfer budgets could be a lot lower than expected. And that also works in the opposite direction because we're unaware if clubs will have to sell their key players to keep their club going and just to bring some transfer funds in for themselves. Borussia Dortmund have set their sights on Arsenal's Saka according to the Mirror. The 18-year-old winger and also fullback has made 30 appearances for the Gunners this season and has impressed the Bundesliga side. His contract, I believe, expires in 2021, so Arsenal will be looking to tie him down to a new deal. But if they can't, they may be forced to sell rather than lose him on a free. And to be fair to him this season, as the article says, Dortmund are impressed. But I think a lot of football fans are impressed because he's not a natural left back, but he's done a fantastic job there. Juventus are trying to sign Sergio Roberto from Barcelona, according to Sport. The Serie A side have put Roberto at the top of their list of summer targets and are in talks with the Catalan giants, who are willing to sell him when the transfer window reopens. It doesn't say how much any type of fee would be, but Sergio Roberto is also a versatile player. And the next story comes from Eurosport. They are today reporting that Borussia Dortmund are working on a deal that's to bring PSG midfielder Julian Draxler back to the Bundesliga. The Germany international is unhappy with his lack of playing time in Paris, and he was apparently close to a move to Hertha Berlin during the winter window as well. And for Dortmund, they're looking to kind of push on now from this season and maybe even try and keep hold of Jadon Sancho and build a team around him. Mundo Deportivo are saying that Ghent striker Jonathan David is a subject of interest from Inter. Inter are eager to bring in the 20-year-old to replace Lautaro Martinez, who looks set to join Barcelona this summer. David, who could be available for just 25 million later in this year, he has hit 18 goals in all competitions for the Belgian side. Le Temps Sport are saying Chelsea have approached Lille over Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen, and they have inquired about his availability. Frank Lampard is eager to boost his attacking ranks in the summer transfer window, with the Blues set to target the 21-year-old when the market reopens. Chelsea have also inquired about another Lille player, and that is Gabriel, the defender, who has been linked with Arsenal and Everton in recent weeks. And as for Chelsea's striker situation, I mentioned yesterday that apparently Giroud has signed a 1-year extension, and they're also looking to bring in Mertens from Napoli. The main target throughout the January window was Dembele from Lyon, and now they're looking at another Ligue 1 striker in Victor Osimhen. And to kind of add on top of that, other outlets in England are saying that maybe Leicester City could be in the mix for this striker, as they see him as a good long-term replacement for Jamie Vardy. Napoli are considering a summer swoop for Everton centre forward Moise Kean, according to Corriere dello Sport. The Italian giants have set their sights on the 20-year-old as they prepare to lose Milik and Mertens when the transfer market reopens. The young Italian striker has struggled since making the move to Everton last summer from Juventus. He cost them a fairly large fee, but has only produced one goal in 26 games. Brazilian midfielder Arthur will not be leaving Barca in the next transfer window. Premier League clubs have been linked to a move to him or for him, and the main club link right now are Tottenham, and in Italy is Inter Milan. But apparently Sport are saying Barca have no intention of selling him whatsoever, and they won't be selling him anytime soon. And he was tied in with the whole Ndombele swap deal, so Ndombele goes to Barca and Arthur goes the opposite direction to Tottenham. Paris Saint-Germain are interested in signing Roma midfielder Lorenzo Pellegrini, according to Foot Mercato. The 23-year-old has a €30 million release clause in his current contract, and the French champions are planning to swoop for his signature this summer. He was also linked to Everton, but apparently Roma are looking to get him to sign a new deal, and therefore increase that release clause. And yet another midfielder linked to Paris Saint-Germain now, at least according to Le Temps Sport, is going to be Chelsea's Bakayoko. The 25-year-old is currently on a season-long loan at former club Monaco, who do have the option to make it a permanent deal from the Stamford Bridge side. But Bakayoko is interested in a move to PSG, a club he nearly joined in 2017 before opting to join Chelsea instead. A short story from Football Insider is that Leeds are ready to move for goalkeeper John Ruddy as if he decides to leave Wolves at the end of the season. The experienced stopper's contract at Molineux is up at the end of the campaign, and Leeds could be on the hunt for a replacement for former Real Madrid man Kiko Casilla, who overall at Leeds United has been very shaky. And now Tottenham are linked to yet another Barca midfielder, this time, according to Sport, it's Croatian midfielder Ivan Rakitic. Alongside Spurs though, Juventus, Napoli and Atletico all want the international midfielder this summer, and he has got 2 years left on his current deal, but he's very unlikely to remain at the Camp Nou. Zlatan Ibrahimovic looks set to leave AC Milan at the end of the season, and the Serie A side are on the hunt for a successor. Luka Jovic has emerged as a top candidate to take the Swedish icon's place, with the Rossoneri trying to sign him from Frankfurt last summer, but instead he opted to join Real Madrid. The striker has struggled in Spain so far, and Calcio Mercato do say he could end up at the San Siro after all, but they don't mention how much it'd cost. AS in Spain are reporting that Real Madrid will send Areola back to PSG this summer. The goalkeeper has been on loan at the Bernabeu this season, but has not impressed sufficiently to be retained. Instead, Andrei Lunin, a young Ukrainian goalkeeper currently on the books at Real Oviedo that is on loan from Real Madrid, he's set to become Courtois' backup for next season. Edinson Cavani could eventually choose to stay at Paris Saint-Germain after months of speculation, and this story comes from L'Equipe. The Uruguayan has been linked with clubs all over the world recently and over the last couple of months, and the most recent club linked are Newcastle United, who are on the verge of a massive takeover. But the French outlet do add that right now the chances of Cavani staying in Paris are much higher than initially thought. In January he was pretty much certain to go to Atletico Madrid or at least lead the French champions, but now he could opt to stay for another year, but he will have to sign a new contract. Napoli and Inter are considering a deal that will see ALLAN and Matthias Vecino swap teams, and this story is from Calcio Mercato. Napoli boss Gattuso has been a long admirer of Vecino, who has been a key player at Inter for the past 3 seasons, and the midfielder was also linked to Everton during the January window. Inter are looking to strengthen their central midfield options, and they could be prioritising other players, but a cost-cutting deal for ALLAN could be the best option, as it means they save a lot of money and they'd be bringing a quality player in. And next up we have got a short story saying that Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola is eager to lure Leonardo Bonucci to the Etihad Stadium this summer, but Goal.com have learned that Juventus have no intention of selling one of their prized assets, and Bonucci was linked to Man City about 2 years ago. But maybe a more realistic defender target, according to various outlets, but mainly Record, the SM Benfica defender Ruben Diaz has attracted the interest of Barca and Manchester City. He has got a very high release clause currently in his contract though of £87 million or about €100 million, but it's unlikely he'd cost anywhere near that really, maybe about half or up to 50 million. And the report does add that his agent Jorge Mendes has offered his client to Barca, while Pep Guardiola wants to bring the 22-year-old to Manchester, and his current contract expires in the summer of 2024. Everton and Leicester City have emerged as possible destinations for Philippe Coutinho, according to Sport. Barca are looking to offload the playmaker this summer, and Everton could be a potential landing spot. The reason for that is because the two clubs have done a lot of business with each other, because over the last couple of seasons Lucas Digne, Andre Gomez and Yerry Mina have made the switch. And as for Leicester, of course they have got former manager of Philippe Coutinho being Brendan Rodgers, and they basically say that is the reason why he could be going there instead, but he will have a lot of options despite his career going downhill for the last couple of years. And next up we have got a story which I don't think has too much truth in it, but it's from Calcio Mercato in Italy. The SM Paris Saint-Germain have offered Angel Di Maria to Manchester United as part of a package deal to take Paul Pogba to PSG. But the reason I don't really believe the story is that they mentioned Di Maria being part of the deal, and I could be wrong here, but I believe he said some bad stuff about United in the press since leaving the club, and he also had the bit of antics last year when playing them at Old Trafford. I'm not sure if that means that it rules out any type of return, but I do kind of see it unlikely. And the next story today is that Jurgen Klopp has spoken to Kylian Mbappe's father. That's to try and get an idea at the PSG striker's interest in a move to Liverpool. The Premier League side are reportedly considering an ambitious bid for the France star, who's also very high on Real Madrid's list of potential signings. But Le Temps Sport say the Reds are trying to gain the upper hand in the race for Mbappe, that's by holding talks with the player's father. And again, this story, I don't think it has too much truth in it, because yes, Mbappe 2020 has been a thing, Liverpool fans want it to happen, but realistically, yes, we are now sponsored by Nike, which could be a massive bonus in potential future transfers. But given the current situation with finances and the coronavirus, I can't see us spending about 200 million on any player. But that, guys, is going to be it for this video. So if you could do out good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. My previous episode will be down below in the description box, and the current schedule every day at 8 AM UK time, there will be a new video in your sub box. And today's question of the day, where do you think Jadon Sancho will be playing next season? So thank you for watching this video, I'll see you next time.